Hey, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Round Table Talk. I'm your host, C Money, and I'm back from Atlanta. The last few episodes I was doing Atlanta and Orlando. I'm back home in the sunny, good of South Florida, and it was a topic that's been going around that I have to get to. It's the Roe versus Wade overturned. I got to get to it because that's been brewing over for the past few weeks, and since I was in ATL, and I said I'll come back and I'll cover this story when I come back. So let's get to it. Roe versus Wade. You all know about the storyline of abortion. There are fights against people having abortion and against for abortion and against abortion, and it's a lot behind it. Basically, there are people that are for it. There's people that are against it. Not only just regular common folks, but there's politicians and a lot of other people that are for it and against it. As just a day or two ago, President Biden pushed to have, what women can get more treatment and stuff for abortion. Pills. Birth control pills, a lot of this stuff, to help them out. So a lot of these things are coming forth on it. So what it is basically, they're trying to say, okay, he wants to protect women's rights. I'm gonna tell you personally, this is how I feel about the whole situation. I mean, first off, if you're not ready to have a baby, use safe sex. I know they'll say that having unprotected sex is better because it's a better feeling than having protective sex. It's a more feeling, it's more better and everything. But for me, I feel it's basically, if you're not ready to face the consequences, whether it's catching a disease, getting pregnant, or anything of that nature, please wear protective. Please do what you can to stay safe for anything, because at the end of the day, you don't know what is going to come about, and that's what it is. But if you do chose to do that, it is the woman's right to control whether she wants to keep a baby or to get, have an abortion or anything of that nature. A lot of these women out here are not ready for motherhood. There are people that are, we're still like for instance, we're still living in a pandemic. A lot of these people still haven't recovered from the pandemic, and a lot of these people are still trying to get their lives situated and get back on track. During the pandemic, a lot of people, they had to, stop working, and then with all the money that was saved up and all the money that was given from the government, like through unemployment and through the stimulus packages and all that, a lot of these people had to use that to pay bills, buy groceries, and take care of themselves. So now that they're somewhat back to working, in certain stages, a lot of these people are still trying to build back up what they had before the pandemic. Like myself, I had to stop working, and then the money I had saved up had to go towards bills, and I was going through hell of a high water through through unemployment because I didn't get the money I was supposed to get. So it was like I was either, I was getting stimulus money, but the little unemployment weekly money they was giving out, I wasn't getting that because it was a big issue and everything, and not only me, other people. So a lot of these people were still, hurting from the pandemic. So now, getting back to normalcy, a lot of these people are still hurting, because they're not 100% better. So for us, it's like they're not ready. For a lot of women, they're not ready for parenthood. But I feel, number one, refrain from having sex, because that's basically a no-brainer. That's the only best way to keep from getting a baby, because like they say, condoms are not 100% effective. They can break, any type of thing that, birth control pills and everything, the best way to 100% keep from getting a baby or any diseases, don't have sex. You know what I'm saying? But if you do, you got to take the steps and measures, birth control, condoms, stuff like that. So, and now that with these people do get pregnant, there is a good chance that they should have the right to choose whether they want to keep their baby or not. For me, I feel as if, it's a woman's right to decide her body. The government shouldn't decide for a woman's body. The government should say, oh, a woman has to keep the baby or anything, or a woman, they shouldn't have the right to disease. Because what if a woman, was raped? Let's say, for instance, in a example, what if a woman was walking down the street and got raped by a man, and the man got her pregnant, and the woman doesn't have $1 to her name to take care of a baby, let alone try to take care of herself? It's not up to the government to say, oh, even though she was raped, she still got to take care of the baby, or she still got to have the baby. It's not up to the government, even though, in certain, cases, they may be where, there may be some where they can pardon stuff, but, in general, it's up to a woman's body, and it's up to a woman to, actually say, okay, this is my body, this is how I feel, this is what I want, and this is my situation. The government doesn't have a right to have a say over what my body is. If I had a baby, and it wasn't planned, and the baby comes out, and I get pregnant, hey, can I take care of my baby? Can I not take care of my baby? A lot of these women make these choices, and even so, there is other options. There's adoption, there's stuff. My thing is, a woman should have the baby, but give the baby up for adoption. Because my thing is, don't provide and don't mess up a life that's being formed. And even if you don't want the baby, you can always give up the baby for adoption. But there are some women that don't feel that way, which I understand. But I feel every life deserves a change, regardless if it's, like they say, there's a heart beating. The heart starts beating at 18 weeks after conception, and so that means, hey, man, on my way back from Georgia, on my way back from Atlanta, there was a couple of billboards, and this billboard, it was something that I said I wanted to discuss. They had a billboard with Jesus, a picture of Jesus on it, and they said, God doesn't like when you have an abortion, it hurts God's feelings. And I'm like, so they're making it seem like like God doesn't like abortion. Now, I haven't read the Bible from cover to cover. I have read the Bible, but I haven't read the Bible from cover to cover to know that. Is there anything, if you know about the Bible, and if you know if it quotes anything, please email me. Please comment at the bottom of this page, of this episode. Is there a saying in there that says God doesn't like abortion, or if there is a way that He says it in the Bible? Because when I saw the billboards and they say, having an abortion makes God unhappy, and I forgot how it really said, but it was like a billboard's coming, and I was like, so they're really saying that if you have an abortion, it's a sin and God doesn't like it, and I'm like, so they're really trying to promote not having an abortion, but there are a lot of people that are against abortion. There's other people that are for abortion, so there's mixed signals throughout the country, and President Biden is protecting women who has an abortion. He just wants the Congress and the politicians to act on it, because he wants them to feel the way he feels. Like I said, and some of y'all may disagree with me, and some of y'all may not like what I'm saying, but for me, I feel as if it is a woman's decision over her body. Like I said before, you can't stop a woman from doing what they want to do. Everybody has that right. This is America. Freedom of speech. Everybody has the right to say what they want to say. So if you sit up here and say that you don't like the fact that a woman's gonna have an abortion and stuff like that, there are several people that may be against it, but you gotta look at it as if this is a woman's right. A woman may not be ready. Like I said earlier, a woman may probably got raped by a man, and the man got her pregnant, because there have been numerous of stories from the past where people say, oh, I was raped and the man raped me, now I'm pregnant with his baby, and the man may be either dead or locked up, or the man may be gone and they can't find the man. So she don't know who the baby daddy is. So it's like for them, it's making it seem like, okay, well, since you know it's not a planned baby and it was happened by unwanted circumstances, she has that right to say whether she don't want the baby or not, because she don't want to grow up. You don't want to have to grow up and grow a baby up, and you say, baby, your daddy is a man who raped me unknowingly, and I don't know who your daddy is. I just got raped, and here you are now, and stuff like that. You rather have a baby that you can know your you rather have a family baby. Like myself, I told myself, you know, if I was to ever get married, I want to have a family, a wife and kids. I don't want to just have like this baby mama, or have somebody that just knocked up and then I don't know who the mama is, or mama just the one that a lot of. And that's the same thing with most of these women. So they have a right to say, okay, the man just knocked me up, I'm pregnant, I don't see the man ever again, or the man raped me and I'm pregnant. Now I just want to have an abortion, because I don't want to have to deal with a baby from a man that I don't know, or that raped me, or it was just a one night stand or whatever and stuff like that. So you rather, just like a lot of these strippers, I'm quite sure a lot of these strippers get pregnant by these men who come into these clubs, and they pay thousands of dollars just to have unprotected sex, and then they say, oh, you can nut in mine, you can have unprotected self, and I'm not going to say everything, but and then they come up pregnant by impregnating a woman, and then the woman has that right to say, okay, I'm gonna get a abortion, because it was just the customer that came in here and paid money, and they paid a little bit extra to impregnate me, so and a lot of these women say, oh, I can get an abortion. There's steps to that. So I'm all for it. I'm not all for it if you got a husband and wife and y'all have sex and she don't want a baby, so you have an abortion. And I'm not all for that, because if you're married and you got a husband and y'all agree not to have a baby, but you like to have unprotected sex, to me that's just like saying you don't want to start a family. Now that I don't agree. I feel as if that if you are husband and wife and you don't want to have a baby, please wear a condom or do other things to do. Don't have unprotected sex and then you have an abortion, but you're a husband and wife, because a husband and wife is supposed to be two that's supposed to, I understand if you're a single man or a single woman and you don't want to have kids and you just want to, that's understandable. But once you get married, you got to come to that understanding. If you don't want to have kids, just wrap it up, have protected sex and do all these things to keep yourself from having kids, Don't have an abortion when you're married and stuff like that. Take birth control pills, do all of this other things, to keep yourself. Don't have unprotected sex and then you come up pregnant and then you just have an abortion. No, you have to take steps into doing what you need to do so you can keep from this. That's what I don't approve. But I do approve if like you're a woman and you want to have an abortion, and there's plenty of reasons why you want to have it. Like I said, you got raped, or you had a one night stand, or something happened where it was unfortunate. Yeah. A woman should be able to protect herself, with that. And the government is trying to make it where they don't want a woman to protect herself in that situation. They're trying to get it where, they're trying to overturn, they overturn Roe versus Wade. And for me, it's like you're doing away with a whole situation that doesn't really, it's like, what can you do about it? What can you say when the government, it's like the government is having a say so on your life. It's like the government is having a say so over your body. The government is controlling your body, your mind, your soul. The government is controlling you. And that's the one thing I feel that the government shouldn't have, especially here in the United States. There shouldn't be where the government should control everything. America is the land of the free, freedom of speech. That's why a lot of these migrants and immigrants come over to our land, because they have more freedom over here than they do in Cuba and Haiti and other places where, they have more freedom and stuff. And it's the same thing over here with us Americans. We should have more freedom in the say of what we do in our everyday life. If we want to have an abortion, or if we want to go and and express our opinions and stuff like that. Just like with this show, the Roundtable Talk. This is the way that I express my feelings, and for a way to express other people's feelings through what we can do. Yeah, it may be certain things that I can't say, because it is, even though it's YouTube, but it is certain things I may or can or cannot say, but I can express my opinions here. Like on TV, on television, you can't express your feelings through television because, you got, a lot of these censors and all that stuff, and you can't say what you want to say on television. So on YouTube, on here, especially with the Roundtable Talk, you can say what you want to say, and you can do what you want to do, and it's the same thing with a woman's body. A woman should have the right to say what she wants. And she want to get a liposuction, a boob job, a tummy tuck, whatever she want to do with her body. And it's the same thing with a male. The male want to, have surgery to lose weight or have liposuction, whatever the case may be. A person should have a say so over it. And that's the same thing with having a baby, pregnant. A woman having a baby, if she wants to choose not to have the baby, she shouldn't have the baby. But there are certain things I approve of. Like I say, I don't approve of, a woman not having a baby and she's married and stuff like that. Take the steps, have protected sex, take birth control pills, do all that other stuff. If you don't like doing all these steps to not get pregnant, then don't have sex at all. Because there are people that say, "Oh, I hate taking the pill because the pill I gotta take it every day, and I gotta keep doing it, and sometimes I be forgetting and this and that, blah blah blah." Well, it's what you have to do if you don't want to get pregnant. And the same thing, oh, the condom, it takes away the feeling, and stuff like that, blah blah blah. Well, this is what you got to do to take the steps. Because at the end of the day, you're still going to have to do something to give it to the baby. I know a lot of people that say that, I've heard stories about people that say they're allergic to condoms because it's latex and stuff like that. And some people say it just to say it because they don't like to wear, condoms. And then there are some people that are really allergic to latex, And then there are some people that feel that it is much better without wearing a condom because the feeling is much better having sex. But the thing about it is, you don't want the consequences behind it. Getting pregnant, diseases and stuff like that. So now it's like, what do you do? How do you get through it? Is everything. I just want to know, how do y'all feel about this Roe versus Wade overturn? I know a lot of y'all are for it, and I know a lot of y'all are against it. How do y'all feel about it? How do you think that this should play out? Do you think President Biden is, decision to protect women is okay with it? Because I feel it's a great way to protect women. Like, he's protecting women's rights, because just like when women had the right to vote in 1920, you're protecting women's rights. Just because it's a woman, that doesn't mean she shouldn't have a say-so on her body. She shouldn't have a say-so over what she does with her life. And it's her body, so she should have a say-so on everything. And that's how I feel that a lot of these, states and governments are doing. They're not giving women the rights to speak up their mind to anything, And this is just not with Roe versus Wade and abortion. This is just in general, A lot of these things. I want to know how y'all feel about that. Do you think that it's good? Do you think that it's bad? Do you think that it's a great way for people to, express themselves? Do you think that it's a way that people, to make you, don't mess up life for what it is? But a woman have that right, because a woman may not be financially able to take care of a baby. A woman may not be financially, fit, or a woman may not be ready to take care of a child. A woman may be flipping burgers at McDonald's or taking orders at Burger King through a drive-through window and only making $9-10 an hour. Her rent $700-800 a month, and it's gonna be hard for her to do anything, because basically, how you gonna try to take care of a baby when you barely got money to take care of your own bills? So that's how I feel that a lot of these decisions are come about, and a lot of these things play in the mind, and the government is not looking at that, and you got to look at the fact that, okay, a lot of these women, may have slipped up and got pregnant by accident. Like and a lot of these women may have it to where they can afford to um take care of the responsibilities of being a parent. So now you have to have it where it's their decision where they can keep it or they can let it go. And you have to look at your finances. Just like I said myself, I'm not, I want to be financially stable to take care of a child or a family. Like, I want kids, I know my time is ticking, because as you get older, your time is ticking. But I want to be able to be financially there for my child, and that's what most of these women is. Most of these women are like, okay, number one, do they have a man in their life that can help them take care of the kids? Number two, are they financially there to take care of their kids if they have to take care of the kids on their own? Number three, what are the steps and measures to keeping a child? Because a lot of these people, regardless if they do have finances to take care of a child, mentally they're not ready to take care of it because they've never had a child a day in their life and they don't know how to take care of a kid and they don't know how to raise a child and stuff. So a lot of these factors come into mind when it comes to this thing. So abortion is another thing, but before you do abortion, I feel, look at the option of adoption, because now with abortion, I feel you are taking life away from a human being. You're taking life away. You're killing a human life. And I don't agree with killing a human life before it begins, but I also feel as if it is a woman's right to choose what she do with her body. I don't agree with killing a life, regardless if it's, before they was born, after they was born, or during the birth. I don't approve of it. But I do approve of, a woman has a right and a say-so of her body. If she wants to have an abortion, it's her body. Let her do what she wants with her body. I want to know what y'all think about this. Email me, roundtable00@yahoo.com. Don't forget to comment at the bottom of this page. If you do have questions and comments on this topic, if you have questions and comments on other topics, you can also, email us at any time. You can also comment at the bottom of this page. This is a short episode because, this episode is a topic that, I've been wanting to discuss ever since, before I went on my Atlanta trip. And so it is this topic that's going around, and there's a lot of people that are still against it. And, you have to respect people and know that this is a topic that is not growing, because with Roundtable Talk, we do everyday topics and also current event topics on what's going on in the world right now. This is the Roundtable 00. I am your host, C Money. Don't forget to click and subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to check out our previous episodes. Don't forget to check out previous topics. If you do have a topic you want us to discuss, you can also comment at the bottom of this episode, and also email us, like I said, roundtable00@yahoo.com. I greatly appreciate it. I hope everybody's staying safe, because we're not out of a pandemic just yet. We're still in a pandemic. Even though things are slowly coming back to normal, we are still in a pandemic. And hopefully y'all are out there staying safe. And if you have any questions or comments on this topic, feel free to ask me, or feel free to email us. If you want to be, and also if you want to be anonymous, meaning that you want your topics or questions to be anonymous, you can also email us anonymously, roundtable00@yahoo.com. We will be doing an episode on the future about current answers and questions from past topics and everything. And this is the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money. Stay safe, stay strong. I was gonna say stay black, but not stay black. But I hope everybody's staying safe. This is an episode of Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money, again, and I will see you in the next episode.